Dear Dairy. Excuse me, goodness. You'd think I hadn't had enough tea today. Um, so today was interesting. Yesterday was interesting. Like I said, yesterday was my housemate's birthday, and we had quite a few people over. Just about the point that I was thinking that the crowd was dying down enough that I might actually be able to record something. It's when most of them started coming in here to talk to me. Doesn't work that well. I'm just about to, fire up Windows Movie Maker and try to record, the evening's vlog, and then people are coming like, "So what are you doing?" Like, it's not that I don't want to be social. I was fine with being social. It's just everybody had been not in this room for most of the rest of the day, and then they all kind of migrated in here at the close to the same time. It was okay, whatever. That is pretty much empty. So I don't have. There is an old Chinese proverb that a man who has no tea in his body can have no joy in his soul, and I am very much a staunch believer of that particular saying, proverb. That's the word I was looking for. So Friday, I did the Into the Portal podcast, which I mentioned on Friday night's Dear Dairy. However, what I didn't tell you, because you weren't here yesterday, well, I was here, but you guys weren't here. When I uploaded it, my copy, because we were allowed to, each of us was allowed to upload a copy to our own channel so that we could monetize. What wound up happening was I did something a little bit wrong in the order that I did it in, apparently. And so when I uploaded the video, the automated YouTube thing said, "Hey, this says that you're using this piece of music. Do you have permission to use this piece of music? Because I don't think you have permission to use this." And I was like, "Guys, what's going on with this thing here?" And I talked to Keith Doma later on. He's like, "Oh, you need to fix it like this." And I'm like, "Okay." So I had to take it down, and it had like 11 views, and I'm like, "No!" So I had to take it down, delete it, and then re-upload it, and do everything in the right order so that it all came through the way it was supposed to. But it's up there. It all came through the right way now, so everything's fine. We had another podcast. I wasn't on this one, but I was in the chat channel where they've been doing it. The Evercast show with the guys, with Tanlin and Flatus and Cal and Kai and Shuin and everybody. And so we're watching that this evening. And just like with Into the Portal, where we have a lot of the devs show up in the chat channel while we're doing the recording, the same thing happens on Evercast. And so Omid and a couple other people were in the thing. And we got to talk about voice acting for some reason. I don't remember exactly why. But, somebody said, "Oh my God, Trent should totally do all the voices for for EverQuest Next." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then Omid said it, in chat, and said, "Yeah, Trent's gonna do," because he heard me doing all the Harvey Firestein voice and everything in Into the Portal. So he was just joking around when he said it. But I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll absolutely do it." But Flatus on the show, one of the guys who does the Evercast show, he's also really, got some awesome voices. He's also a big guy, kind of like me. He does these really awesome high pitched, like little girl voices that are kind of disturbing to hear that voice come out of him. Because if you couldn't see him, you wouldn't think. It's kind of like Gabriel Iglesias, the stand-up comic with Fluffy. He does that same sort of thing, where he does these really high falsetto voices that are just like kind of creepy. Should not be coming out of you. Odd. I think it would be awesome to combine our powers for evil or good, whatever, as long as we get paid for it. I mean, as long as we have a good time getting paid for it. But yeah, it was a pretty fun time during the show. What else was there? So this kind of goes out to Skylos for the most part. I don't normally address specific messages to specific people, but this one, the other piece of software that you suggested that I look at the track Axe or something like that. The guy who did the tutorial videos, really nice Irish accent. Sounds very, very cute. Um, Not what I was going to say though, but I was looking around, and while I can record, directly from the webcam and from this microphone, same problem as Windows Movie Maker. I can see that it's recording in stereo. I cannot figure out where to switch it to mono so that it does both things. I looked and I dug through it. I did web searches and all that. It's just, my luck, you probably can't do it with the free trial. And I will be damned if I'm going to buy a piece of software like that, I can appreciate the fact that they want to make money. They can give me a free trial for a limited amount of time that has full functionality for 15 days, and I get to learn exactly what the software can do. And I'm not complaining to you about it. I'm not saying that you were in the wrong to try to recommend a solution. It's just frustrating. I mean, if I'm going to go ahead and buy a piece of software, I'm going to go ahead and get Adobe Premiere, which I know will do the job, and it is ultimately the one that I'm going to go for anyway. The only other one that would be, a hot, top end kind of vloggy kind of stuff would be Sony Vegas, but I think that's actually more expensive than Adobe, just because I may still have an in at Adobe. I may still be able to get a decent deal on it. I'm not sure. I know I can't do that with Sony. Anyway, moot point. Suffice to say, I don't think that Track Axe does what I want it to do either. But watching the tutorial videos with that guy's very, very slight Irish accent, nice. Because, yeah, God, I need a boyfriend. Okay, let's see. So we're at about 7 minutes and 20 seconds now. What else can I tell you? I happened to glance down. I have YouTube open right here. It's paused on a video that I was watching before I started watching the Evercast show. And it's Dodger playing a game called Electronic Superjoy, which, if you have not seen this game, if you like electronica, if you like, kind of techno music stuff, you're going to love this game. It's got, I mean, I don't like electronica all that much, but the music in this is actually really, really good. And of course, every time you hit a checkpoint, these little flags are the checkpoints, and you can see them from miles around. Every time you hit one, you just hear like, ooh la la. It's like, damn. Or it's this girl, this woman's voice going, yeah. And I'm like, whoa, hang on, what's going on here? Watching Dodger play it is pretty funny, but watching Jesse play it was actually a lot more. If you want to watch somebody play it well, watch Jesse play it, because it's not that Dodger's bad at games like this. She's just not as good as Jesse is, I think. And sometimes watching people fail is funnier. I mean, watching he tends to do things more in time with the music, because a lot of the jump moves that you do in the game, when you jump and you do this power slam down on top of one of the little monsters or whatever, it's like a drum hit, on the thing. So with him, he's doing these things in time with the music, and it augments the music, and it's actually really funny. Dodger, so far, I'm only 6 minutes and 40 seconds into the video, but she's not doing so hot with the rhythm. And I love Dodger to death. But Jesse's better at this game than she is. Anyway, but it's actually more fun from a humor standpoint to watch her play. If she gets to the boss level where he was. Oh, anyway, so 9.5 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I'm actually kind of tired. I woke up about, I guess, maybe 6 o'clock this morning. And I woke up and I kind of rolled my head over to the side, looked out the window, and the sun was more or less up. And I was just like, why? What? And of course, I didn't move my phone to the other side of the monitors because I sleep right behind these monitors on this couch back here. And someday I'll show you the other side of all this stuff. But anyway, so I hadn't moved my phone over to that side, so there's no clock on that side of the room, so I don't know what time it is when I wake up. Usually I tell by the angle of the sun going across the backyard. And I couldn't, I mean, it was bright, but the sun wasn't up high enough to be casting direct light into the thing. So I was like, oh God, it's got to be early. So I got up and I was thinking, okay, do I go to Marie Callender's this morning? Because I've got money now that the next check hit and everything. I was like, I could. I don't care. It's like I just want to go back to sleep. I wasn't that tired at first, but as it got closer to 9 o'clock, which is when Marie Callender's opened, I found myself like, I want to go back to bed. I didn't sleep very well. I just want to go back to bed and catch up on the rest of my sleep. So I went right to bed. I guess maybe 10 minutes to 9. I just went back around and I laid back down and I was like, okay, so and then I opened my eyes and it was 11 o'clock and I'm like, oh, no, that was way too long. And so I got up and started working around doing other stuff and whatnot. One of the problems with doing voice acting and trying to make a living on YouTube is that you don't really get days off. And Jesse has mentioned this on one of his videos. You don't, or maybe it was just on Twitter or something. It's like you don't really get days off. You've always got to be thinking about how you're going to push your brand. What's the next way that you're going to get more people in to watch your stuff and grow your channel. Now that I'm part of RPM and NG and 4G, which I learned apparently stands for Network for Gamers. Awesome. Now I know what it stands for. I hate not knowing what acronyms stand for. It's like RPM. I was like, okay, is that revolutions per minute? No, apparently it's something else. It's like revenue per mil, MILLE, something. I don't know. Anyway, I was like, I don't understand why. I'm a part of several, because it's all part of Maker. So I'm part of several different, networks all at the same time. Craziness. And the guys at Maker. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Everything in my Maker account in Maker Central is working perfectly now. It all kind of kicked in late Friday night. I went to refresh the page and looked at it. I was like, look, everything's working. I could fill out all my tax information. Everything. Oh my God, that's great. And so, yeah, tax information. Okay. Because, I'm making about, 9 cents a week. That'll get bigger as the numbers grow, which again is a good segue point for me to ask all of you to please spread the word about my channel. Help me grow the brand. It's difficult to imagine myself as a brand, not like a hot piece of iron that you stick against somebody to mark them as yours. I mean, some people are into that, I guess. But yeah, no, I don't really see myself that way. Yeah, no. That's another pet peeve of mine is when people go, and Miss Jacko, that's JaccauD, Jacko, she was one of my bosses at the first time I was at EA. We were in charge of the QA team during Spore. Anyway, she has this habit of saying, no, yeah. I'm like, well, is it no or yeah? Because you just said no like 4 times and yeah once. So does that somehow balance? It's just like, yeah, no. Like, don't. And the guys on Game Grumps did that today. Oh, pet peeve. Oh my God. So much. No, yeah. Which is it? No or yes? Because Kim was always like, no, what I'm saying is, no, that's not what I meant. Yes, you're right. I said, then just skip all the no's and tell me, yes, you're correct. Or say, no, that's not what I meant. Yes, you're correct. Either give me all the information or just skip all the extraneous stuff and just get to the point. So what are you saying when you say, yeah, no? She's like, I'm saying, yeah, I agree. No, that's not what don't do this to me. I don't want to have to translate the crap you're saying. Just tell me what you mean. Love her to death, but man, I hate that. Right, so 15 minutes. I'm going to go. And I will talk to you guys later. Probably tomorrow. Because it's 11:33, so by the time I get this uploaded, it'll be Monday. So I will talk to you guys later on. And until I do, be careless.